Let's make some new rules for California gig workers. Let's get back to the old rules when it comes to using race and ethnicity to admit or reject students at California universities. Let's tweak the living heck out of the current rules that define the mother of all California tax laws, the 1978 version of Prop 13. These are just a few of the dozen proposals that California voters will approve or reject in the November 3 general election. Others would lower the voting age by a few months in primary elections, expand consumer privacy protection, change cash bail and give cities more clout regarding rent control, among other things. It's a lot to consider. And given that mail-in ballots go out in early October, it might be time to look hard at what each proposition is about. Vote yes for this and state taxpayers will be on the hook for $5 billion in bonds aimed at reviving the California Institute for Regenerative Medicine, CIRM, a program created in 2004 to boost stem cell research. A vote against it would save money, but it might kill CIRM. The 16-year-old program ran out of its initial funding last year and it hasn't taken on new research since last summer, according to the state. Stem cells, if you're wondering, are used in medical research on everything from nerve disorders and blindness to tooth decay. Prop 14 would create some rules for how CIRM spends money going forward. And at least $5 billion would be used for research on age-related issues such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia, among other things. Supporters say keeping CIRM alive could be key to future medical breakthroughs. Opponents note that federal limits on spending for stem cell research, the reason why California voters were asked to fund CIRM in the first place, no longer exist. A yes vote here would represent a big change in California, essentially creating two distinct tracks, split roll, one for most commercial buildings and another for residential dwellings, in our famed Proposition 13 property tax code. Under Prop 15, the tax rate on most commercial and industrial properties would be based on the building's market value, not its purchase price. Exceptions would be made for buildings used in agriculture and for buildings owned by individuals or companies with less than $3 million in other assets. Overall, the state estimates it would generate up to $5 billion a year in new taxes from the owners of commercial properties. A no vote would leave California's Prop 13 tax rules intact. All structures in California, commercial, industrial, residential, would continue to be taxed as they are now, with annual tax hikes jumping no more than the rate of inflation or 2%, whichever is lower. Supporters say Prop 15 would close a loophole that often benefits big businesses at the expense of small businesses, and that the money raised would help offset revenue losses expected as a result of the coronavirus pandemic.